जय श्री श्री राधा गोपीनाथ भगवान की, जय श्री श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा मई की, जय श्री गौर निताय की, जय श्रील प्रभुपाद की, श्रील गुरुदेव की. We thank you all for coming for today's Bhagavatam class. So today we'll be reading from Canto 4, Chapter 22, verse 10. Let's do Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet Nashta Prayesha Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Adana Apite Dhanyaha Sadhavo Griha Medinaha Yadgrihahi Artavaryambu Trina Bhumishvaravaraha Adana Apite Danyaha Sadhvo Griha Medinaha Yadgrihahi Arhavaryambu Trina Bhumishvaravaraha Adna Apite Danyaha Sadhavo Griha Medinaha Yadgrihahi Arhavaryambu Trina Bhumishvaravaraha Adana Apite Danya Trina Bhumishvaravara Adana Api Danyaha Sadhavo Griha Medina Yadgrihahi Arhavaryambu Trina Bhumishvaravaraha Adana Apite Danyaha Sadhvo Griha Medina Yadgrihahi Arhavaryambu Trina Bhumishvaravaraha Adana Apite Danya Sadhavo Yadgrihahi Arhavaryambu Trina Bhumishvaravara Adana Apite Danya Sadhvo Griha Medina Yadgrihahi Arhavaryambu Trina Bhumishvaravaraha Adana Apite Danya Sadhvo Griha Medina Yadgrihahi Arhavaryambu Trina Bhumishvaravaraha. Synonyms. Adanaha, not very rich. Api, although. Te, they. Danyaha, glorious. Sadhva, saintly persons. Griha Medina, persons who are attached to family life. Yet Griha, those worshipable. So whose house? Sorry. Yet Griha, whose house? He certainly. Arha Varya, the most worshipable. Ambu, water. Trina, grass. Bhumi, land. Ishvara, the master. Avara, the servants. Translation. A person who is not very rich and is attached to family life becomes highly glorified when saintly persons are present in his home. The master and the servants who are engaged in offering the exalted visitor water, a sitting place, and a paraphernalia for reception are glorified, and the home itself is also glorified. Purport. Materially, if a man is not very rich, he is not glorious. And spiritually, if a man is too attached to the family, he is also not glorious. But saintly persons are quite ready to visit the house of a poor man or a man who is attached to material family life. When this happens, the owner of the house and his servants are glorified because they offer water for washing the feet of a saintly person, sitting places, and other things to receive him. The conclusion is that if a saintly person goes to the house of even an unimportant person, such a person becomes glorious by his blessings. It is therefore the Vedic system that a householder invite a saintly person in his home to receive his blessings. This system is still current in India, and therefore saintly persons, wherever they go, are hosted by the householders, who in turn get an opportunity to receive transcendental knowledge. It is the duty of a sannyasi, therefore, to travel everywhere just to favor the householders who are generally ignorant of the values of spiritual life. It may be argued that all householders are not very rich, and that one cannot receive great saintly persons or preachers because they are always accompanied by their disciples. If a householder is to receive a saintly person, he has to receive his entourage also. It is said in the Shastras that Durvasa Muni was always accompanied by 60,000 disciples, and that if there was a little discrepancy in their reception, he would be very angry and would sometimes curse the host. The fact is that every householder, regardless of his position or economic condition, can at least receive saintly guests with great devotion and offer them drinking water. For drinking water is available always. In India, the custom is that even an ordinary person is offered a glass of water if he suddenly visits, and one cannot offer him foodstuff. If there is no water, then one can offer a sitting place, even if it's on the straw mats. And if one has no straw mat, he can immediately cleanse the ground and ask the guest to sit there. Supposing that a householder cannot even do that, then with folded hands, he can simply receive the guest saying welcome. And if he cannot do that, then he should feel very sorry for his poor condition and shed tears and simply offer obeisances with his whole family, wife, and children. In this way, he can satisfy any guest, even if the guest is a saintly person or a king. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Tadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Vishakam Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Vaktakanchana Gaurange Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhanu Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpa Tarubhyasha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Today we are reading from the chapter Prithu Maharaj's meeting with the four Kumaras. So we see that the four Kumaras appear in the home of Prithu Maharaj. He is being praised by his wonderful citizens of of the wonderful qualities that he does as a king. And all of a sudden we see four Kumaras appearing in the palace, and in no time Maharaj Prithu welcomes him, greets him. He's very happy to see this young Kumaras there. They are very cherubic, they are very innocent, they are looking very young, 5 years of age. So their body is young and they have got a boon that they will not grow older. So how will it be, right, to invite somebody so small and but still elevated souls coming to our home? So Prithu Maharaj was very happy. He was delighted to welcome the four Kumaras because he was already mentioned. He was told, like, such saintly persons will visit your home. And befittingly, he is also like, he's a king and he's an emperor. And he has all the luxury and the qualities to invite such holy people or saintly people and to host them very comfortably. And what does he do once the four Kumaras come? So he washes the feet because that's the standard, that's the etiquette. And he also drinks the water, and he also takes and sprinkles some water on his head. And it is not that okay, because these four Kumaras have suddenly come, the king says, oh, you didn't take an appointment from me, so you don't have to come now, come later. No, that's not etiquette. So as soon as the Kumaras come, the Maharaj welcomes and he honors them very nicely. So that's how it should be. And Prithu Maharaj, what does he want to do? He wants to show by example how a saintly person should be invited. Because Yatha Raja Tata Praja. So whatever Raja does, the citizens will follow. And the saints are here and they are taken care very nicely. And many people think that what am I going to get from a saintly people? He's not going to give me gifts or money or food or shelter. Why should I invite him? Right? This is the mentality of complicated people or people with calculative mind. Whereas a spiritual person thinks that this is an opportunity for me to serve saintly people, get some knowledge and advance spiritually. And he wants to learn to detach from his material attachments by serving such saintly people. Right? So in the purport, what do we see Srila Prabhupada talking about mostly? We see him talking about association with saintly persons. So that is our objective today. What is it? We are learning here how to serve saintly people and what are the benefits that we are going to obtain by serving the great saints. So here Prithu Maharaj gives us the importance of why we should serve great people. Why is it that we should serve great people? Because it opens up a channel for those great souls to give us the knowledge. It enlivens the person who is giving knowledge. Why? Because the recipient is so dear and is very eager to listen. And hence, we are asked to hear from saintly people and also welcome them and give good reception, because saintly people are not interested in anyone and everyone. They would see, okay, who's got a fertile heart? Where can I implant the seed of bhakti? Then they implant. Whereas if one is not interested to hear about Krishna Katha or Bhakti, then they are like, okay, fine, I have some other better place to do. Is it okay? Any problem? All right. So, saintly people are showing their interest only to people who are interested in learning. If they don't show interest, then it's okay for them. It's up to them, right? Whether to learn or not. So, we are listening to Bhagavatam with the context that it is conversations within conversations. The basic principle here is Sukadev Goswami spoke this to Maharaj Parikshit, who was so much eager to hear. Why? Because he has only 7 days to live. And he gives his utmost attention to the knowledge that he is trying to receive. And so many examples like this are quoted in the Shastra, where people are receiving knowledge from saintly persons and where people are also neglecting the saintly persons and are getting cursed for their actions. So we will go through it one by one. So Sukadev Goswami, at one point he says, go on. Sukadev came here specifically to give this knowledge to Maharaj Parikshit. And Maharaj Parikshit says, go on, keep glorifying the Lord. It doesn't matter. Let the snake bird come and take me. It's fine. But please keep continuing to give me this knowledge. He doesn't eat for all those 7 days. He doesn't drink for all those 7 days. But he keeps on hearing to the glories of the Lord. And that's very important. And it's a great blessing for him to be amidst so many sages. And he's also chosen that auspicious place to give the class hear the class as well. And so what do we see here? How do we receive the saintly people? What are the normal etiquettes that we have followed so far? What we have learned? Yes? Yep. Yeah. Excellent. So these are the things that one can perform to a saintly person. So Krishna himself has shown in lot of places how he gives respect to elderly people, how he gives respect to his friend, and how he receives saintly people. So we all know about the story of Sudama Vipra, right? So what happens? Sudama Vipra is Krishna's school friend, and they studied in Gurukul and in Sandipani Muni's ashram. So we could see the contrast between Krishna and Sudama here. Sudama is very poor. He comes in tattered clothes and he is skinny. He didn't have anything to eat. His wife says, hey, you have a friend in Dwaraka. He's a king. At least you could go and ask him for some benefit, right? We are struggling for even food. So he gives him an idea and he sends him, and then they both decide, okay, I can't go to Krishna and meet him empty-handed, so let him get something and go. So his wife, they don't have anything. So they went to their neighbor's place. They got the cheapest form of rice, like some chipped rice. They put it in a cloth. She put it in a cloth and gives for Sudama to carry to see Krishna. Sudama goes, and it is not that Krishna is this normal person, right? He's the king of the palace in Dwaraka, and his palace is situated in the ocean. And why? Because Krishna has lot of enemies. He has the demons to fight for, and he has other kings who would come and fight for him and take him. So he's in a very safe place, but Sudama has to go and meet him in such a place where it's all well protected, and it's very hard for one to impregnate and go to the palace. He has to cross a bridge. He has to go through all the channels of being checked by the servants or the soldiers. So he finds his way out. He's a poor Brahmana. He somehow explains, checking one check after another check, and finally he goes into the palace. And he finally goes into Rukmani's palace, which is supposedly the most beautiful palace among the 16,108 palaces. So there, as soon as Krishna sees Sudama coming, he ran up to Sudama and he hugs him. And all the servants are like shocked. Oh my God, what's happening here? because it's not usual for Krishna to hug anybody. It's usual for Krishna to hug Rukmini or for Balram, but it is not very usual for Krishna to be so close to such a friend. And then it's like he greets him, he makes him sit on a very soft, rich, luxury bedstead, which is already decorated with pure white silk, and it's as soft as the froth of a milk, it seems. Usually the bedsteads are compared to the froth of a milk, and that's the standard. So Krishna makes Sudama sit, and then the standards Krishna has to display, right? So he washes Sudama's feet. Then what happens? Then Rukmini Devi is actually fanning them. They get the fanning from the goddess of fortune, and then Krishna offers him food to eat, all the nice, rich, palatable foods to eat. And then Krishna asks, "Hey, so you must have brought something for me. What have you brought?" And the situation here is he's in the best place ever. The palace is well decorated. He's seated in such a nice place. But then he has to show the small chipped rice to Krishna. He's thinking all of this in his mind. Should I offer this or not? And before he even could think, Krishna immediately grabs the chipped rice from his hand and puts it in his mouth. And as though not enough, Rukmini stops. I mean, for Krishna, obviously, it's not enough, right? He wants to have more, but Rukmini stops him. Many acharyas have said that it seems Rukmini also wanted to have a serving, and hence she stops Krishna from having that chipped rice. Right? So this is the exchanges, because why? Rukmini wanted to have the food that this great soul has bought for Krishna and herself. So she takes care, and Krishna also takes care. And while leaving, obviously, Sudama doesn't want to take anything from Krishna. He doesn't want to ask and make him feel bad. So he just walks away. But then what happened? When he reaches home, he doesn't see his home, but he sees a palace. Instead of he sees attendants in the palace, and they are all dressed like demigods, and his wife is dressed like a goddess of fortune. So even though he didn't ask anything from Krishna, Krishna gave him everything. So here what can we learn? We can learn that from Krishna how to take care of a friend, or how to take care of a saintly person who's coming to our home. But it is not necessary that we do everything that Krishna does, right? We should not imitate Krishna, but we can emulate Krishna. There's a difference. If we do rasa dance like Krishna, then it is not allowed, or it is restricted, because it's showing the sahajya mentality. Whereas if we follow Krishna in the way he respects elders, or we can follow Krishna in the way he wakes up early in the morning, all that is allowed, and we can emulate Krishna like that. And we can also see how eager Krishna was to serve his friend, and similarly we can also try and learn to serve devotees with eagerness. And normally what would one do, right? We go to sadhu. Maximum materialistic people would go to sadhu for maybe arranging weddings, or maybe to see horoscope, or for getting blessings, for getting more money, or for car, or for name it, like business people or material people, whatever they want, they go ask that from sadhu. But is sadhu meant for giving that? No. Right? So Srila Prabhupada actually knows how the people in Kali Yuga would be. He knows if he goes to America, he'll not be valued, but still he goes to America. And when he goes to America, he trains a lot of people and makes them disciples. And wherever he goes, he takes his disciples. So one day, Prabhupada goes to a rich person's place. And what does the rich person do? The rich person makes Srila Prabhupada wait, and he performs his deity worship. We all know this story, right? So Prabhupada, what does he tell his disciples? He says, look at this person. He is a neophyte devotee. He doesn't know how a sadhu should be taken care of. He is offering his services and puja to his deities. And that is very immature of him, or it's very neophyte of him. So like this, Prabhupada classifies and identifies how a devotee should behave. And similarly, we see in the example of Indradumna Maharaj, when he was actually doing his worship, when Agastya Muni had come to his palace, he didn't actually serve Agastya Muni properly, and hence Agastya Muni said, "You are dull as an elephant, let you be born as an elephant in your next birth." And hence he was born as Gajendra in his next life, and we know how it went. So Prabhupada Delian clearly explains who a sadhu is and why we should take his association. Who is a sadhu? A sadhu is somebody who can instill bhakti in us. A sadhu is somebody who actually gives not only blessings but knowledge and helps us get detached from material attachments. And we also see that in ISKCON that we have built up this etiquette of serving sadhus by inviting them to our home. We offer them good food, we wash their feet, we take their water, sprinkle, drink their water, and we take blessings in that form. And we also ask questions, we also allow them to give us the knowledge. Not only for us, what do? We also encourage our neighbors, our friends to come for the program, serve them nice food, and allow them to hear from this saintly people. And that's what grihasthas do, and that's their duty. So you can see that mostly in Krishna consciousness, and we don't see them much in outside world, that they are getting such welcome for a saintly person. Otherwise we know why they are called for. Sometimes people think, hey, I don't have the facility. Srila Prabhupada says that is not important. Srila Prabhupada says that is not important. That facility that you have or the luxury that you provide for a sadhu is not important. Whereas what is important is, whatever you have you served that with devotion? Like Prabhu was saying, even if you give water, serve it with devotion. Even if you offer them some sweet words, do it with devotion. Things like that, right? So we offer them all these things with love and devotion, and we also ask them nice questions so that they are able to instruct us nicely. So therefore the four Kumaras who are now in Prithu Maharaj's palace are now here. They want to give that knowledge, because Prithu Maharaj is very eager to hear from them, and they are very pleased with the way Prithu Maharaj had served them. So now they are telling him how to get out of this contamination of this material world, how to get him, they're giving him the knowledge of how to get purified, things like that. So they're very happily giving this knowledge. And Prabhupada says, it is not how much we give to the sadhus, it is with what intention we give to them. And it could be good words. You're not equipped with gifts on that particular day that you see a sadhu, but offer them good words, glorify them, whatever they have did to you, whatever you are able to, whatever you have taken it in your life and followed. You can tell them that these are all the good things that you have learned from them, and you can share to them in a nice way. So like this, there are a lot of instructions that the great souls are able to provide. And we can see that in Krishna book also, there are two examples which we can see. One is that of King Bahulasva, and the other one is that of a Brahmana, Shrutadeva. They both invite Krishna to their home. And what happens? King Bahulaslava is very rich. And Krishna also gives appointment that I'll come to your both's place at the same time, right? So then they both come, and Krishna accepts to go to both their places. One is King Bahuslava's place, where he goes. He actually is received with a lot of horses, with big mantras, with lot of rishis and sages. And then offering flowers and giving them scented water, sprinkling scented water all over the palace. So he gets a big, rich reception when Krishna goes there. And yes, Krishna is pleased with whatever the king has to offer. At the same time, Krishna also goes to the poor Brahmana's place, Shrutadeva's house, and it's a small hut. He just has a mat. Maybe he has some fruit to offer, or it could be a water or a fruit or a mat, is what he could offer. But he was very jubilant. He was like, I just asked Krishna to come and he has accepted to come. He's very happy. He's like jumping with joy. As soon as he sees Krishna, he's like, he has this only chadar and he rolls it in the air and he's like, Krishna is coming, Krishna is coming. And he just jumps and chants and he's very, very happy to welcome them. And Krishna again comes with his entourage to this small hut also, and he makes him very happy, and he's very happy to accept this little water and little fruit that he has to offer. So for Krishna, it is not whether one is rich or one is poor, but it is how much we give from our heart. It's all that matters. So like this is how we should be receiving a saintly person in our houses. Next, we'll be discussing on why we should invite the saintly persons in our house. Have we any time? I mean, we all have our own spiritual leaders that we look up to, right? So I'd like to know from you. So, what have you got inspired, or what you have learned from any of the spiritual leader that has inspired you, and you tried to follow them, if not fully, but at least partially, or how much ever you can. Can we get some examples? Yeah, Prabhu.
Broadly, my authority is Ghanshyam Prabhu at the moment, and I get inspired how he follows Prabhupada and his disciples, and exactly the way they want it to be. Like he did not make his own whimsical way to follow,
Mm.
and seeing that it gives me inspiration to follow even better. Sometimes we try to hide some things from authority, but the transparency of him teaches me how I should be.
Excellent.
Very, very inspiring.
Very inspiring. Good. Very good. Thank you, Prabhu. Any more?
I'm personally inspired by His Holiness Radha Govind Maharaj, who I just admire the taste of the nectar of Bhagavatam that he relishes, and it's almost like he's just handing over the nectarian teachings of Bhagavatam to you. You can just listen to his lectures for hours. So yeah, that really inspires me.
Very nice. Excellent. Prabhu?
I'm going to say the Guru Maharaj is a minister, but as my Maharaj. So mostly inspired by my Guru Maharaj, never give up attitude. So with all of these air conditioned, but still he inspiring everyone to preach, inspiring everyone to spread the message of Krishna consciousness.
Excellent. Very nice. Prabhu? Anybody? Mataji? Yeah. Nice. Anything else? How are you inspired by your Guru Maharaj? I have something to say, but I want you to say. Right. Very true. What do you want to imbibe, especially? Same attitude. Never give up. Perfect. Good. Anything else, Prabhu? Okay. Dipti? Yeah, excellent. So you want to keep up the faith as well, right? So yes, these sadhus, why do they take up so much of austerity? Why do they have to travel all the way? Why do they have to come to us, to our homes, to our temples? And it's not like they come, okay, once in a while, or they can actually sit in their home and or sit in wherever they are and they can give the message, right? But they try as much as possible to touch each and every soul personally. So many examples are there. They take so much time out of their life and they give it for our sake, and we can see how it has benefited so many of us. At least 75% of our class has actually answered or found or relished that message from a sadhu. Yes, right? So, I would like to quote a few examples where Jananda Maharaj, because we get to associate more with Jananda Maharaj because it's Prabhu's Guru Maharaj and my Guru Maharaj is Jayapataka Maharaj. So, I'll quote initially few examples, and whatever I've heard from devotees also we can discuss. If time permits, we can go more other than these Maharajas. So, when Jananda Maharaj Vyasa Puja happened, an elderly devotee, his name is Toshan Prabhu. He used to cook a lot, maybe 10, 12, 15 years back or something. So he used to cook a lot in those days, and he was offering this Vyasa Puja offering to His Holiness Janananda Maharaj. What he says is, Janananda Maharaj and Toshan Prabhu they knew each other from New Zealand even more years before. So he's offering this Vyasa Puja maybe 8 years back, and they knew when they were young, right? So when Jananda Maharaj knew that this person is in Australia, at that time there was nobody to take Jananda Maharaj from one place to another. So when he knew and he wanted to meet his friend, he just took a train. He just went to a place knowing that he's in this place. Maybe he just had this address and phone number. So he got down in the station, he went to a local booth, asked for this person, and he said, "Oh, Maharaj, you're here. Let me come and pick you up. You didn't even give me a notice, but I'm coming. You stay where you are, I come and pick you up." But Maharaj, just with the address, he couldn't wait until this person comes and receives him, or he didn't want that reception. He just started walking. He just kept walking and walking until he met this person on the way. And then he goes and he spends time with this family, and he had relished the story in this Vyasa Puja. Not just that one time, but whenever Maharaj visits Sydney, he makes it a point to visit this devotee's place. He's in Newcastle now, and his kids are all adults now and they are doing their own job. But this friendship has not become any way lesser for Janana Maharaj. It could be that he is visiting so many places, he's giving so many preachings all over Sydney, or he has to go to other countries, doesn't matter. But when he comes to Sydney, this Newcastle visit, the Chesnock Farm visit, is for sure there in his schedule. And when this sadhu goes to his place, his house becomes glorified. And when devotees visit, this Prabhu makes very simple recipes with whatever is available in his garden. And Maharaj relishes that and he glorifies the devotee and the prasad. He says, "This is such a nice offering that you have made. Whenever I eat in your place, it's always light on my tummy," like that. So this is one such pastime that he quotes in the Vyasa Puja offering. And we have also seen once one devotee happened to meet Hanumant Prashek Swami. He's also a traveling preacher. He used to visit Sydney some time back. So this devotee go and asks Maharaj, "Maharaj, why is it that we have frictions between devotees very often?" So Maharaj gave a very simple answer, and she quotes this answer to us. So she says, Maharaj said, "Devotees are like a bag of rocks, and over a period of time, it will become pebbles." So what does it mean? I think I've told you this, right? Before? Maybe not. Okay. So what does it mean that devotees are like a bag of rocks? Over a period of time, we become pebbles. Huh? We are crushed by. How? He's saying we become crushed and we become humble. I'm asking, how do we become humble? Devotees are like a bag of rocks.
We need to, hit here and there, having friction with each other, different people, and need to go with them, deal with them.
Yeah,
And if we don't deal with them properly, then we lose our peace. So, unmoving plus working into
yeah,
our nature return here and there, and we get
yeah. Correct, correct. Even though we are devotees, we have our material tendencies with us. And when devotees meet against each other, we have our frictions. So as we rub against these frictions, we become pebbles. We become smoother. But if we don't give us that opportunity, we are always like this. Then there's no opportunity for us to rub against each other and purify ourselves or to become soft. So as we advance, we also become soft, right? At one point, you might have friction with your peers or anyone, but after some time, then it washes off because you also grow out of it. The other person also grows out of it, right? That's what Maharaj gave in just one, like a pearl, to the devotee. Another example. When I met my Guru Maharaj, Jayapatak Maharaj first, so Maharaj was sitting here, he was giving classes. He had two topics to discuss. One was he wanted to discuss all the places that he had traveled to. He said, I have a video of that, or I'll discuss one other topic. I don't know what the other topic was, but we chose the topic that wherever he traveled all over the world. So at that point of time, after watching the entire video, I only remember that Maharaj has visited my hometown also. And after some time, then thinking through it, I'm like relishing whatever he said, and I'm thinking, okay, Maharaj has visited not just my hometown, but he has also visited many places. He was showing America, Canada, Peru, Malaysia, Australia, so many places, right? So for him, then after some time I realized that it's not just the countries he's visiting. For him, it's not like he's happy to go just to the developed countries and not to the developing countries. So for him, India is similar to America, in Malaysia is similar to Canada, or any place he goes to do what? He gives the message of Krishna, right? And does he see, okay, one is rich? Does he see one is poor? Okay, does he see, okay, anybody and everybody, if they are in need, if they go to Guru Maharaj, he gives this message. So the same message or the same video, at one point of time you have one realization, and after some time then you have a different realization. Then as you grow, as you mature in Krishna consciousness, then you see that this person is not just identifying us based on our countries, but he's just seeing who we are who are we are souls. So he's only seeing, okay, I have to help these souls in different parts of the world, and he's coming and giving Krishna consciousness to everyone. So that is what you learn by associating for a moment with a sadhu. And even now when we went to visit Guru Maharaj, he was like, Maharaj, we had taken, strawberries, blackberries, blueberries. We want to make him happy, you see. And after seeing everything, he was like, so we went in December, which is summer here. So berries, do you still, he was like, okay, this is summer season, right? You would be getting mangoes, no? Where is your mangoes? Then we were like, what to do? So if we go with pride, Maharaj would make us humble. So you go in the act of serving, so whatever you get, you just be happy and come back, right? So like this, there's so much pastimes. And we have seen Urmila Mataji also come a few weeks back. So she has actually taught us how to grow kids in Krishna consciousness. And now, how are we engaging our kids? Now you can see our kids playing nice mridanga, kartal, singing. A Saturday kirtan is dedicated for them. Don't we think that all their proclivities are engaged very nicely in Krishna consciousness? They are. So we take something from this sadhu, from that sadhu, picked all the pearls. And I want to say something, when few years back we had the 40th anniversary of Shri Shri Radha Gopinath, many devotees had come from all over the world to participate in this anniversary. And devotees were put up in Grihasta's place house, and Grihastas were serving them. And we found out that this person called Gaura Mandala Bhumi Prabhu, a disciple of Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, had actually served in Sydney temple many years ago. And it seems when he had served, maybe 2-3 people were serving in the temple. And when they were serving, after some time, somebody had go to Canberra because the temple got opened. And this person, Gauramandala Bhumi Prabhu, at one point, he was the only person serving Srila Prabhupada, which means from morning 4:30 or 4 o'clock, he would wake up the deities, he would dress them up, he would actually feed them, then again do the arati, then again he would cook, then again offer arati. So it's like all the 4 o'clock, the 7 o'clock, the 12 o'clock, the food, the arati, and again 4 o'clock, again arati, again food, right? So like this, he was the only one serving for months together. I don't know if it's exactly 3 months or 6 months, but he said at one point he was continuously serving, and if it's winter, at that time they wouldn't have even hot water. So he would actually take a cold shower and do all this. Why? Only because of the instruction that Prabhupada had given to him. He took it to heart, and after all this, he'd say sometimes even the wet clothes won't dry. He had to put all the wet clothes and then come and do the job. And then he would continue for the whole day like that. Sometimes even sleep close to Gopinath because he'll be so tired to go back and sleep somewhere else. So like this, people have dedicated their lives. So such sadhus, after getting instruction from Prabhupada, then he was asked to go to Thailand and preach. So he went there, he very nicely took, he didn't have anything to take from here. He didn't know anybody in Thailand, but he just went by just taking the instruction, and he went and preached the message, and he's now having a big temple in Thailand. So he's a very established soul there. So similarly, a lot of devotees you would come across in your life. Once we had an opportunity to serve Atul Krishna Prabhu. He's a senior god brother, and he's a teacher who's teaching Bhakti Shastri in Mayapur. Bhakti Viksha, Bhakti Vaibhav, everywhere. So you name it, and he gives classes, and he's one of the top in Mayapur. And he happened to visit, and we served him, and he said, we could see him, apart from the 16 rounds of chanting, he would spend so much time in offering his deities food, and he chants in front of the Lord. He reads so much mantras, he offers so much incense, he offers flowers. At one point we couldn't get flowers for his deities, so he's like, even if nothing is available, don't worry. If you have just one leaf that you could offer for Gopinath, which is Tulsi Ma, he gave that important instruction that the Tulsi leaf is so close to Krishna that whatever you give, when you offer one Tulsi leaf, Krishna will be very happy with that. But others, it's okay, you have offered, but with just one leaf, you can actually praise Krishna, means it's the Tulsi leaf. So from then on, you can see, even if I don't have the richest food, or if I don't have anything to offer to Krishna, if I just offer the Tulsi leaf, because I knew from him, then I'm always saying Vrindaya Tulsi Devaya Keshavaya Vishnu Bhakti Preja Satyavati Namo. So that offering for Tulsi, and you give her in any food item to Krishna, then it is become complete. So you know that she is so important to Krishna, and then you start offering that. And then in Vyasa Puja offerings, you also hear devotees saying about Radhanath Maharaj. One Mataji was saying, it seems that they had so many programs. Radhanath Maharaj had to go to so many programs, and their program was also in schedule. And she says we were thinking, oh, our house is so small, how would Maharaj, he has so many programs, and with that, how would he come to such a small home? And they were actually giving up their hope. And but Maharaj made up his mind. He actually came to this Mataji's place, and whatever they offered him, he took it very nicely. And then in turn, he asked his mother, I have one request for you. Can you do that for me? And what did he say? He said, can you please chant 16 rounds from today onwards? Can you please chant rounds for me? And from then on, the entire family is chanting. They all became disciples of Maharaj. And then they are also now preaching to a lot more people. So you don't have to think, twice or thrice. They would come. If you have that desire, if you have that intention to serve, you can serve. And similarly, Indradumnya Maharaj, we have seen him coming always with entourage of devotees. His style of preaching, he would do dramas, he would do martial arts, he would show through martial arts, he would preach. He would bring a lot of devotees in Harinam, singing and dancing with the holy names. Like that, he would conduct big hall programs. He would invite new people and he would give Krishna consciousness to them. So like this, what do we learn is important from these great souls. Again, my friend was talking about His Grace Burijan Prabhu. It seems when they had a personal darshan with Burijan Maharaj, Maharaj asked, so are you a perfectionist? So are you a perfectionist? And 3 times he's asked her, and she's like, why did Maharaj ask me like that for so many times? It was just a small exchange, and then why did he ask me like that? And then now she is actually recollecting and thinking through, why did Maharaj, and so maybe Maharaj is saying that she need not be so perfect because it put so much stress on her, so much anxiety in her. So like this, a moment association, a little drop would give us something valuable that we can carry for our entire life. And that is why we have to honor having saintly people in our temple and in our home. And let's not, okay, somebody is coming, some small Prabhu, traveling Prabhu is coming. Let's not give so much importance. No, let's not take like that, because even the smallest sadhu can give us so much enrichment. And we might not have flowers, garlands, anything, but we can offer them a seat, right? We can offer them sweet words. So that's what we have to learn from today's class, and that's what Prithu Maharaj is actually offering to 4 Kumaras. Thank you, everybody. Hare Krishna.